Hey, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Nintendo News Roundup Live, where each and every Friday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, the All In crew breaks down the week in Nintendo news right here, youtube.com/All In Podcast. Good to be here with It's Friday the 13th, I guess.
Happy
It's,
Friday the 13th. I should have worn my Jason Voorhees mask or
you have
something.
one?
The closest I have is like the death mask from the
Yeah, the Darksiders
the
2
Darksiders
Collector's
special
Edition.
edition that I always bring out for our Halloween trivia party, which means I'll probably be busting that mask out very soon anyway. But no, I need to get like a proper Jason Voorhees mask just for occasions such as this. Friday the 13th in spooky season. Welcome one, welcome all. Thank you for spending your Friday nights with the All In crew. Good to see all of you. Good to see you, Seth.
Good to see you. Good to see you. It's. I was thinking to myself as you were saying that, I was like, for occasions such as this, like, when is the next Friday the 13th and spooky season gonna? It won't be for another like 7 years,
Probably.
right? Something like
Probably.
that, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
how it works? I don't know. I just
I
work
don't know.
here. Well, Eric, we are gathered here to talk about some news, but you know what we need to talk about first, as always.
We need to talk about the Jason Voorhees to our camp counselors, our patrons.
They kill us or something? They don't kill us. Quite the opposite. But yes, we do need to thank the Jason Voorhees to our camp counselors. Over on patreon.com/all in podcast, we've got a bunch of friends and supporters over there. Toss a couple bones our way for our hard work, and we appreciate them very, very much. So let's thank them, shall we? Let's thank our Golden Banana tier supporters like Rob Yapel, Third Strongest Mole, Sean O'Baggins, Ashton, Tim A, aka NeoPrime33, aka Nintendo Dad number 4, Matt, Shy Guy City Murray, Phelan Ward, Bill Tucker, Marcus O'Neill, Liam D, Bowza, Gamer Jason, Andrew Wilkins, Foolish Fuji, and Alan. Hashtag look to the cookie. Big thanks to our Golden Banana Bunch. You can get a 7-day free trial to the Golden Banana tier and join their ranks. See what all the fuss is about entirely for free for 7 days. But moving into our Triforce tier, we need to thank Josh Vaughn, the godfather of Tingle Love Tuesday, John Dat Fast Cummins of the Retro Logic podcast, as well as the On Topic Retro podcast, the Globetrotting Jet Set Nintendo Hub and Sparky of the Nintendo Hub right here on YouTube, Adam Caparello of the Retro Groove podcast, as well as Octorock 1982 on Twitch. He just started streaming on Twitch again. So twitch.tv/Octorock. I believe it's _1982. I think I'm right about that. He was streaming some Baten Kaidos last night.
Yeah,
I was
I
hanging
saw
out in his
that.
stream a little bit. We also need to thank Shy Guy, the other half of our Shy Guy mod squad. Thank you, Shy Guy. Danielina Hosa, Dan and Luma, Solo Something, and the legend himself.
The legendary Uncle Randy.
Nice. I like that. Big thanks to all of you for your wonderful support. We very much appreciate it. Again, 7-day free trial to the Golden Banana tier if you want to see what all the fuss is about over there. We do exclusive content for Patreon. We also have merch, like this mug that I've got here tonight that has our faces on it. It's a good mug. bit.ly/all-in-merch. You can grab that mug for yourself. You can also get shirts. We have shirts on there. We got stickers on there, all kinds of stuff. And if you want to support the show entirely for free, that's appreciated too. You can, if you're listening to this on your podcast feed, drop some words. You're watching the VOD on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Very, very easy way to support the show and very, very free too. But we do have news to get to, my friend.
We do, and I feel really good tonight, man. I really do. I was in the shower earlier, and
I took a shower too.
Oh, well, very nice.
We both showered this month. Yeah,
exactly. But specifically, like as I was washing my head, my neck popped, and like my neck feels more loose now than it has genuinely in like years.
Okay,
it was a very good neck pop, and now I'm just like, oh. I have movement again.
Hopefully not a dangerous neck pop, like where it's like I should be seen about this.
I feel like
fall off.
I feel like if it were dangerous, I would have found out by now.
Fair,
but no, it felt like I've badly needed to go to a chiropractor for quite some time, and I've tried to get it to pop myself, honestly, for so long, but that's just how it kind of always happens. You're doing a random thing, and then ka-cheesh.
Oh.
And you're like, oh. And That's right.
There
I
it
have
is.
I have a body under there. Oh yeah. So I feel really
Well,
good. We got some fun news to get to. So what do you say we get to it?
Let's do it, man.
Let's
We
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. I think it's funny. I thought the biggest story of this week was going to be was going to be the Splatoween. We'll get to that in a second. As it turns out, the biggest story of this week is actually the fact that we have news. Let me see how big I can make this. No, that's the biggest I can make it. That's fine. We have news that the new voice of Mario and Luigi has been revealed.
Yes.
Kevin Afghani is your new voice of Mario and Luigi, kind of unceremoniously here on Twitter.
See, that's the thing is we kind of nice. There we go. Incredibly proud to have voiced Mario and Luigi in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Thanks to Nintendo for inviting me into the Flower Kingdom. And of course, a couple headlines came out a few days ago about a story we talked about last week where Mario Wonder demos are now out and available in many retail locations. That demo was since data mined, and we did find out a lot of the new vocal talent behind the Mushroom Kingdom and Flower Kingdom denizens. And of course, Kevin's name was among there. We didn't find out until today officially. This is a little bit of breaking news. We only found out just a couple hours ago. He did confirm that he is the man behind the Plumbers 2 from now on. Well, we say just for Mario Wonder, we assume moving forward, but we shall see. Regardless, there he is, your brand new voice, Mario Luigi. And IGN also reported he is also voicing the Wonder Flower as well.
Right.
Possibly a couple other voices in there. But at the very least, he is the one to pick up the torch that Charles Martinet passed off.
Yeah, this is interesting for a few reasons. First of all, Kevin Afghani, which I'm actually just let me just go to his Twitter page real quick. Where is it? What's he at to? Over 10K now.
10,000.
Yeah, almost 11K. So before he tweeted this out, when I first followed him, he had like 800 followers. And now he's got over 10,000. I mean, it just goes to show the power of this iconic duo and this iconic property, the power that it has, and kind of everybody. It is nice to see the vast majority of people kind of rallying behind him and saying, hey, we hope that you're the voice of Mario for years to come, you're doing a great job, blah, 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 kind of welcoming him in. That has been nice to see, because to be honest, I was worried that people were going to be a lot more mean-spirited.
I was too.
But that
Charles
does not seem to be
is
the case.
Charles Martinet's so beloved, and people took it kind of hard when he officially left the role, and especially with Nintendo's stance of not want to present the new voice of Mario and Luigi, which is still weird to me, because Mario is the flagship character of one of the biggest video game companies on the planet, one of the most recognizable characters in the history of fiction. Why wouldn't such a momentous occasion, such a momentous passing of the torch, be something that Nintendo more outwardly celebrated with the person taking up the mantle? And I thought that was weird, because we knew exactly this was going to happen. We knew we were going to find out in the most unceremonious way, while Nintendo is gearing up for arguably their biggest release of the year, if not their biggest release, certainly near to on par with Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
But again, I mean, we knew we were going to find out about this. Feels a little anticlimactic the way we found out, but regardless, we have the information now. And I was also really, my heart grew 3 sizes today when I did see that the replies to the tweet were mostly filled with positive messages and welcoming messages. I felt kind of good to be a Nintendo fan today when I saw all of that heartwarming, welcoming messaging for him. So, and I mean, the guy's going to be money, I think, in the role, which is an in-joke that not a lot of people are going to get. His last name, Afghani, is actually the currency used in Afghanistan.
Oh, sure. Okay.
His last name literally means money in Afghan. So
nice. Okay. Nice.
But congratulations, Kevin.
Yeah, big congrats. It's a huge role, and look, he based on everything we've heard so far, the game comes out now in 1 week as we
One
sit here
week from
tonight.
today.
Um,
Ugh!
be careful out there. PSA, like copies of both this and Sonic Superstars have been out in the wild.
Of course.
Spider-Man 2 also. Like the games that are coming out over the night, they've been floating around. So be careful out there. Don't get spoiled if you don't want to be spoiled. Yeah, like we don't have long to wait to hear like the sort of full breadth of his take on Mario and Luigi. It has not been confirmed if like Charles Martinet, he's also going to be voicing Wario in WarioWare Move It. That's going to be really interesting. And it's also like, like it's very deliberate language here in the tweet. Like he's only talking about Mario Wonder. He's only talking about the Flower Kingdom. He's not saying like, hey, I'm going to be Mario and Luigi from now on, even though he probably is. Like, this felt like I saw some people say like, oh, he did this without Nintendo's permission. No, he absolutely got Nintendo's clearance to make a tweet like that. And I think it was in response to the data mines, because like what had happened was people were harassing some of the other potential voice actors to find out if it was them, DMing them, sending blind emails, whatever the case may be, and they had to be like, yo, like chill out. And so I think Nintendo just wanted to assuage some of that, and I think at a certain point they were just like, like let's just go ahead and and stop putting the cart in front of the horse here. you know
It's too bad we couldn't have seen that potential outcome coming from a million miles away.
mm,
But I mean, again, regardless, congratulations on the role. And of course, he was never going to hint at any potential future projects. And it could, honestly, it could be a case of Nintendo waiting to see how he's received.
maybe.
If his vocal performance winds up being a major criticism of the game, Nintendo may opt to shift gears, because if your new voice isn't resonating, if the new person behind the plumbers isn't resonating with fans, then it's not somebody you may want to keep in the role for an extended period of time. Now, I have full faith in Nintendo to recast a role of this magnitude, and based on what we've heard already from Super Mario Wonder, it sounds like he understood the assignment. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the full breadth of his performance when Mario Wonder releases now in just 7 days.
Yeah, and I'll say too, it is encouraging to me to see like Nintendo's tact here in terms of like I've said this before on this show, like this is a passing of the torch. This is a new, young, fresh era of Mario. They could have had Charles Martinet do this role until the day he died, frankly. And Charles Martinet would have been happy to. He said as much. But he doesn't have to, because it's time. Like we have this new refresh take on Mario and this new era of Nintendo, even post Switch. So why not take a new, young, fresh approach to the voices? And like it doesn't get. I mean, you look at this dude's IMDb. He's got like 4 or 5 things on there. His biggest
Yeah.
role so far has been he was Raditz in Dragon Ball R&R.
Mm-hmm.
And he was this character Arnold, I think the name is, in Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact, yeah.
And those were his 2 biggest roles prior to this. So he's, kind of like an up and coming voice actor, and now he's Mario and Luigi. So really cool. Really cool. Big congrats. Huge break.
Yeah. And if it is something to where he winds up becoming the new standard, that's not a role that Nintendo goes back to once every 3 or 4 years. Like that'll be
Right.
something where he more than likely has multiple contracts, multiple projects with Nintendo every year performing those roles the same way Charles Martinet did. So again, super, super excited. This could be the beginning of a brand new era for the plumber. And I, for one, am excited. All the love in the world for Charles Martinet, of course. He's an absolute legend and will always be. But always fun, always exciting to see the hot young gun come in and show what he can do.
It feels like the white smoke is rising from the Vatican. The new pope has been chosen. He's only the second person to ever voice these characters.
And the
Which
first
is
since
crazy.
1994. So
Yeah,
big
Yeah.
deal, big deal.
big
But,
deal. Well,
We'd
Eric,
love to hear
another
what you
big
guys
deal.
think about it too.
Yeah, for sure. Another big deal, Eric, is Splatoon 3 finally
Finally!
getting Splatoween. Finally.
I honestly didn't know if it was coming at this point. They waited a long time to announce Splatoween.
Too long.
This is the latest in the calendar year that they've announced it, hasn't it?
I mean, probably, but also, like, Splatoon 3 has not had a Splatoween yet, and I was kind of hoping for one last year, and we never got one. And then finally, I've always loved Splatoween, not only because Spooky Season is great, but
Yeah.
I love like the topics of it. I love that we typically get costumes and stuff, which is happening again here. But yes, there's a creepy feeling and a chill in the air. Splatoween is coming, says Nintendo on Twitter. The question: which would be the best friend, a zombie, a skeleton, or a ghost? Pick your team, then join Turf War Battles online to support them. This Splatoon 3 in-game event kicks off October 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific. So this is the question posed: which would be the best friend? Zombie, skeleton, or ghost? You know where you're going yet with this?
Well, I can't help but notice that something that we're doing for Spooky Season this year happens to mirror Splatoween.
That's true.
Just a little bit. So last week, of course, on the main show, we did our countdown of the top 5 ghosts. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen already, this week we're doing the top 5 skeletons, and mayhaps we may have plans in the near future to finish out the trifecta here.
And by the way, we already had those plans in place before this. Yes.
So I did think that was really crazy and almost like is the HQ bugged? Is the HQ bugged? But
it was serendipitous, man.
It was really crazy. It's weird how things like that work out with our show so frequently. But I don't know, maybe it's my proclivity for Spooky Season, but I genuinely think this is a fun question. And
it is.
I like that they're not just like, which of these would you pick in general?
Right.
It's actually a fairly interesting question. And for this, I have given it probably more thought than it does deserve since they announced it earlier this morning. But I've honestly, just based on the tail of the tape, just based on the question presented to me, I feel like I've got to go with Ghost.
Okay.
I really do. Because, with the caveat of if the Ghost can impact the tangible world.
Okay.
Because just the potential there, the potential for like how they could help you as a friend, practical jokes you could play on people, which I mean, if you have a ghost as a friend, would absolutely be something you would want to do constantly. But the capabilities, the mobility capabilities, the intangibility capabilities, and just a whole bunch of different things. You look at a zombie, this shambling, rotting corpse that's falling apart. You feel like you would, that seems like an incredibly high maintenance friend to have.
Okay.
And then skeleton, I could kind of go either way on it, but I really feel like, I just feel like a ghost would be the best possible friend. What about you?
Eric's like, I've already got one shambling, dead, falling apart friend. I don't need another one. I've got one. He's called my co-host. I'm going Ghost, I think, with this. Not Danny Phantom going Ghost, but I do think I'm going Ghost with this. I texted my wife because my wife and I always play the Splatfest together, and I asked her, like, what are you kind of feeling here? And she's like, either Ghost or Skeleton. And I was like, well, I was already kind of thinking Ghost. So I think we're going to do Team Ghost on this. And this was great too. Hey, Sam's here in the chat. Look at the time, 1/4 time to go all in. That's right. I like that. What's up, Sam? Good to see you, my friend. And this is another thing that I was kind of hoping that they were going to do here, because for Splatoween, they typically do give out like exclusive gear.
Yes.
So they put up this follow-up tweet, and coming soon, you'll be able to claim 4 unique pieces of Splatoween headgear via the Splatoon 3 channel in news on your Nintendo Switch system. Stay tuned. So this is actually something that they have done a few times in the past. So if you don't pay attention to the sort of news section of your Switch, which I think a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's that little app on the bottom of the screen at the far left, right next to the Nintendo Switch Online app.
Right.
So very often they will have Splatoon specifically will have updates where you can launch the game directly from those news articles, and they'll have the content directly attached to that.
Yeah, and they've done this with Zelda as well. So like, pop in there every now and then and see what's going on. So this is going to be how they distribute these. We've got 4 pieces of headgear here: the undead head, which is this like kind of mummified, head with a little bit of kelp sticking out. It's a nice touch. We've got a sort of Cthulhu kind of head, the Swim Reaper, which is a great name. We've got the Plankton Walker, sort of pirate headgear, and then we've got the Bleak Beak, the sort of
plague mask,
plague doctor mask. Yeah,
dude, that plague mask is amazing.
It's sick.
I love that so much. And here we just see them. They've just shown them off as individual pieces of headgear. They haven't announced any accompanying costumes or any other pieces of gear that you can make like a full costume for your preferred Octoling Inkling. But I've already got a couple ideas specifically with that plague mask. But I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you could do with the pirate headgear, which for those listening to the podcast version of this does come with the tri-corner pirate hat and the eye patch both, which is really cool. I mean, it's spooky season. It's Splatoween. I'm glad they finally included this. I know it seems like the first world problem extra, but I do wish they had gone a little bit further. I do wish we had gotten like full costumes. And there's so much potential that I don't know. I do hope we get more in the future, because I would absolutely rock like a creature from the Black Lagoon costume. Come on.
I mean, there's always potential, right? But you know what though? Who is in full costume, Eric? Deep Cut. They're in full costume, baby.
Okay, so yeah. Deep Cut also is getting into the spirit, and Fry and Shiver look good, but yes, Big Man is wearing a straight up ghost sheet,
a bed sheet.
That's like stitched together, but oh my god, it looks amazing.
It's wonderful.
The face of the bed sheet looks like a carved jack-o'-lantern, but other than that, it's your typical dollar store ghost costume.
Dude, he had to carve holes. He had to carve holes for his gills. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Shiver and Fry look cool. Yeah,
I really like Shiver's vampire black and red kind of succubus look. I dig that. And then it looks like Fry is going for some type of Middle Eastern belly dancer motif or something. And that looks okay. But Big Man just knocked it out of the park.
Oh man, I love it so much, and it really just goes to show like you can put all the time and effort you want into a great Halloween costume, but nothing beats a bed sheet. You just can't beat it. I love it very much. I have not been this excited for a Splatfest in some time. I'll be honest with you.
And I mean, it's got to be like Big Man has to be Team Ghost at that point with that costume.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like Shiver as zombie, Fry as skeleton, and Big Man as ghost. Yeah. So
just another reason for me to go Team Ghost this time, because Big Man's got to win one.
I think he is. I can't remember if he's either not won any or maybe he's won like once. It's very, very low. Yeah. Unfortunately, Shiver has won the overwhelming majority of Splatfests.
Yeah. We got to stop her icy reign.
For sure. Well, we got another little interesting thing. So we talked last week with our friend Barry Carenza about the Lego Animal Crossing sets, and we've got some more details on this now. And it's kind of funny because like this was, I guess, leaked. Like Barry showed us like a image of like some of this information. Turns out it was true. The pricing model was right and the release was right. These are coming out March 1st. We've got Bunny's Outdoor Activities set.
Yep.
If the website wants to load, for $19.99, which has got, Bunny. It's got like a little diorama, little vaulting pole. You know,
Little
pretty good.
tent, couple trees,
Yeah,
small little waterfall. Yeah, it looks like one of those. Oh man, what's the ticket that you go with the Dodo Airlines? The little
yeah,
islands that you can go to. It
yeah.
looks like one of those.
One of those Dodo Airlines.
Yeah, one of
What are
those
they called?
randomly generated ticket islands that you can go to gather resources. Looks like a little mini one of those. It looks good.
Yeah, and then we got Captain's Island Boat Tour here as well, this is the one I'm really interested in. For $29.99, you got Cap'n here on his boat. You got my boy Marshall, who is my favorite villager. You got the island, all set up there. Pretty good. And honestly, like I'm sure that these are going to be like quite small. I've already seen people sort of like deriding these sets for looking like they're going to be quite small, but for the price, I ain't mad at it. And for somebody who has like limited space, I'm okay with these sets being small, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, there's a couple. You got a couple lawn chairs. Well, not lawn chairs. A couple beach chairs.
Yeah.
Some palm trees and nice little beach area with Captain in his boat. I mean,
Got a little
honestly,
hermit crab.
I'm just happy for a Captain set, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that looks awesome. We've got Nook's Cranny and Rosie's House, which is the
Of
most
course.
expensive
Yeah.
set at $74.99.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Yeah, I'm honestly
this.
surprised. I really thought Nook's Cranny was going to be its own set, but no, they have Nook's Cranny and an extra house on top of that. And of course, this one's going to be the one that comes with Tom Nook.
Right.
It's not going to be Timmy and Tommy. Tom Nook is going to be the one that comes with Nook's Cranny. And then, of course, Bunny in the extra house. Or,
Yeah, it's Rosie.
Rosie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's interesting because despite the fact that like New Horizons is like the big popular Animal Crossing game, and Tom Nook is in his New Horizons outfit here, he's holding a DIY card like he does in New Horizons. Like, yeah, you would think the Nooklings would be in here. So that's a little bit strange. And then on top of that, like once we get to Isabel's house visit set for $39.99, and some people have pointed this out, Isabel's in her New Leaf outfit. So also kind of just a little strange, a little weird. But this is a cute set too. Isabel's house. She's doing a house visit on Fauna.
Yep.
And yeah, just another cute little like miniature house. I do love how these fruit have like clips.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, so you can shake them off. Like, you can take the fruit off. That's pretty good. I love this you have a little peg there for a fossil spot, like a dig spot. That's really good. An actual fossil on the ground.
And they actually have Isabel show like holding a shovel in the set too. So, yeah.
The details are just really great. The flying present, the little smokestack coming out of the chimney. The details are just like fantastic. Again, like, is this going to, most likely wind up being a smaller, sort of line? Yeah, but like the amount of detail is really unprecedented. And then the final thing we have here is Julian's birthday party at just $14.99. You get Julian, who's a newer character. But it's a whole birthday bash, man. Like, it's got like a cherry blossom tree, got streamers, balloons, cakes. So,
yeah, and then the blue unicorn himself.
Yeah, and then Julian there. Really cool.
And he wears his birthday hat on his horn.
Pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. And again, these are shockingly inexpensive. For being Lego, these are very inexpensive. I mean, you can get the entire thing if you wanted to for less than $200, which is, for anybody who doesn't know or who doesn't keep up with Lego is pricey. It ain't cheap.
Yeah, those are expensive. Obviously, the big one is going to be that Nook's Cranny and Rosie's house set. And I mean, regardless, the Nook's Cranny set was probably always going to be the most expensive regardless, but they absolutely knew what they were doing. You've got Isabel, you've got Tom Nook, you've got Nook's Cranny. And if these sell well, I got to imagine that the town hall, I've got to imagine the museum will be coming in short order, and Tortimer and, all the other famous NPCs. So if you guys are excited, They're coming this coming March 20,
March 1st.
2024, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like Animal Crossing, I think makes way more sense for Lego than a lot of other Nintendo IP. It's
Same vibes.
non-violent.
Yeah.
It's same vibes, but like it's non-violent, so you don't have to like there isn't like a weird like sort of juxtaposition between like if you make a Zelda set, if you make a Metroid set or whatever, then you have to have enemies and weapons and things like this. With Animal Crossing, you just worry about the environments and the characters. And I don't know. I'm really really into it. Can't wait. Excited.
Well, I mean, Animal Crossing is literally about building your perfect island one grid square at a time. I mean, the parallels to Lego are pretty like almost on the nose a little bit. So this collaboration just made way too much sense, frankly.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Eric, are you ready for a weird one? Ready for a weird one here?
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs, I believe is the full title of this. This was revealed the day that they took Pac-Man 99 offline. So very clearly being like, hey, yeah, I know we're getting rid of Pac-Man 99, but don't worry, this is coming. This is kind of a battle royale Pac-Man game that apparently was like on Stadia previously, and now it's like being brought into they're kind of expanding it, making its own thing, and making like a full release out of it. So you're into this?
It does look interesting, and obviously Bandai Namco has been like they've been putting a lot of work into Pac-Man over the past couple of years. We got Pac-Man World Remastered. We got that, in my opinion, really underrated Pac-Man Museum Plus collection. We did have Pac-Man. We did have the Pac-Man 99 Battle Royale, and now we're getting yet another Pac-Man Battle Royale. This one's going to be much more PvP. You can actually, where they're showing off the customization options in the video right now, but you can, as the trailer says, chomp other Pac-Man in addition to the ghosts. It gives me a lot of, it actually reminds me quite a bit of the Bomberman 64 Battle Royale mode. So I'll be interested to check this out. I don't know what the pricing model is going to be for this, but it is worth noting that most of the Battle Royale games currently available on the Nintendo Switch are free-to-play games.
Right.
So I would imagine this is going to follow that same model, but we don't have official word yet. But if it is another free-to-play game, that's certainly enough for me to jump in and try a few battles at least. But Pac-Man's an icon; it's a classic. Really weird though that they felt they had to delete Pac-Man 99 for this one because it is a very different take on the Battle Royale format for Pac-Man.
Sure.
And I do think that both games could have existed concurrently with each other. So, but I mean, regardless, it's here. Check out the trailer if you want and let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. I think first of all, I don't know how many people were still playing Pac-Man 99. I don't know how how big of an audience it had anyway, so why not, focus your energy on this, but this just from having these like this honestly, I look at and it doesn't really do much for me. The idea of like dressing up my Pac-Man, I don't really care about that. I just want to play Pac-Man. So I don't know that I will engage with that kind of stuff. I also think it's a little bit weird to have Pac-Man eating other Pac-Men. It's a little weird.
Cannibalism.
A little weird. It's a little weird, but I don't know. If it is free to play, I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm always, anytime Pac-Man tries something new, I am happy that in 2023 Pac-Man is still around at all and trying new things, because I do love Pac-Man. It's like, Miss Pac-Man is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yep.
But like, it does my heart good to see that they're doing this, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. And I probably won't until I get my hands on it in early 2024. There's no hard date beyond early 2024, but it is a thing. This is your Pac-Man 99 replacement. That is, again, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs.
Well, speaking of Bomberman 64, one of the things that Bandai Namco should absolutely take advantage of is the fact that Pac-Man's not the only franchise that they have access to, that they own the IP for. And if you're going to have customization options in the game already, they showed off a couple kind of, generic looking ones. You can get like a unicorn horn and party glasses, a mohawk, and some other, frankly, Fortnite-esque character customization options. But if they jumped in and they started adding a lot of cross collaboration stuff and other like Galaga style or other Bandai Namco style and other Bandai Namco collaboration customization options, that would probably reel me in a little bit quicker, because I alluded to Bomberman 64. One of the things I loved about Bomberman, Super Bomberman R, and something they followed along with in the new recent release, is there are Bombermen that represent a ton of different franchises from Hudson Soft and from Konami. So you've got Solid Snake Bomberman, you've got Silent Hill Bomberman, you've got a Goemon Bomberman, and Goemon Bomberman is actually legit. He looks amazing, and that added a ton of fun for me to both of those games. So maybe they can have a Galaga Pac-Man model or something, or again just something to think about, Bandai Namco. I think there's a lot of potential there.
Let's get the Elden Ring collaboration with Pac-Man Chomp Champs.
I'm just, I didn't want to say it explicitly, but yes, Bandai Namco, as we know, did have a hand in Smash Brothers. They were also the ones behind Pokken Tournament. So, that's kind of where my mind was going, but I didn't know if I should explicitly say that out loud. But at the very least, we do need a Heihachi Mishima Pac-Man.
That'd be good. I'd be here for that. Well, look forward to that early 2024. Something else that's coming on early 2024, Eric, is Princess Peach Showtime, which had a weird little story as people took notice that the key art for this game was updated. This is the original key art that I'm showing on screen right now. It was updated to this. Very much, updating primarily Kung Fu Peach here on the key art, and Peach in the dead center of the key art. Very much more in line with her Mario movie appearance. Kind of looks like it's taking that point of order versus the more traditional, sort of take on Peach. This Peach is looking a little more angry. Has the furrowed brows.
Kung Fu Peach looks a little bit more intense. I'm here for it. I think most people, if this hadn't been so blatantly brought to a lot of people's attention, I don't know how many people would have ever noticed this, frankly, because most people have to put them side by side and scrutinize the pictures to even see a difference. But yes, that's where most of it comes in, is from the Kung Fu Peach's more intense expression. And I don't want to say the new Center Peach, the new core Peach, looks slimmer, but I would say that she does look more in line with her Mario movie counterpart. So
definitely. Yeah. It's a lot more angular. Like it's a lot more because
I think that's the best word for it.
Yeah, you've got her hair kind of like pointing center. You've got the eyebrows slanted center. I mean, so, the face as a result of that ends up looking slimmer too. But yeah, like she's got a little more like attitude. She's got the biggest thing for me is like you look at this kind of more traditional take on Peach, and it always looks like the way this Peach has always looked to me is like she's got like a ring light shining in her face. Like there's no like shadow coming off of like her nose. Like she looks a little porcelain doll, so I really like this. Like this to me looks like a person, and I love the expression that Kung Fu Peach is making. Like I love that. Can I enhance that? Can I just zoom in on this? I don't know if I can or not. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can. But it's like I love that like kind of almost goofy, angry, expression that she has on her face. It's good.
Well, you've made the argument that Mario Wonder feels like it's going to like really rein in a new generation and the path forward for the plumber. We have a brand new voice. It feels like a brand new game, and you've you've already made the argument that Nintendo seems to be kind of taking this new generation approach. They've got all these young gun developers there, and this could very well be this new, more modern girl boss take for Peach. And I would say that they did this because they are trying to, not maybe immediately, but they are trying to move away from her more, let's just say, damsel in distress-ified prior nature. And just like Mario Wonder could be a really solid next step and could be a really solid way forward for the plumber, this could be Peach's 2024 coming out party. This could be a way forward for her and her own franchise that, actually sticks, and not just having her be emotional all the time to have powers.
Yeah, I think that I think that this goes to show, a couple of things, because I said this when we talked about the game being revealed at the Nintendo Direct. Like, this is Showtime. This is Princess Peach Showtime. Here it is. Like, time to show up. This is her first, like, big, yeah, she had Super Princess Peach, but now this feels like a true moment for Peach, and I'm very glad that it exists. I'm glad that we're kind of like getting to see these different sides of her, because if you look at like the sort of what's the pâtissier or whatever Peach, yeah, she still kind of looks more in line with I mean, they didn't even change it at all from the initial key art.
No, not at
same
all.
with Sword Fighter Peach up there, still very much looks like that. So it's not like dramatically changing the way that Peach looks or anything. It's just giving her a little range of emotion, and I don't know, I really like that. I'm very excited for the game. It's certainly it's one of my most anticipated of next year. Bring it on.
Well, you don't always necessarily need to have sweeping changes to generate in something, but maybe this is just the cynic in me. One of the things about this game that I'm not necessarily looking forward to, but most looking out for, is once this game releases, just seeing how many times in YouTube video thumbnails I see the word woke or beta male or girl boss used in a derogatory way. So it'll be interesting to see how well this game is received, I think.
Yeah. We will see, but that is what we got. We do have some notable releases.
Oh, yes.
To run down before we say goodnight, Eric. What do we got here this week?
A couple things that I'm going to shout out really quickly. Red Dead Redemption was already released. However, the physical has just now come out as of today, as a matter of fact. So if you are a physical collector like myself, that would definitely be the version of the game that I would be looking forward to picking up. That is available now. If you were waiting on that, Red Dead Redemption physical for the Nintendo Switch out today. And also something that I somehow missed a couple days ago, there was a brand new free content update out for Windjammers 2 that adds a brand new training mode, multiple new characters, new lobbies, and full cross-play.
Wow.
So a really, really big new update for Windjammers 2. Again, new play mode, new characters, full cross-play. Now, I'm really going to have to jump back into that game very, very soon. It's so good. I have no clue how I missed that. But
nice.
Even aside from that, there's been so much stuff coming out, and there's a couple big releases this week just beyond that. I will shout out the game on the television behind me, Dementium the Ward. It was announced a couple weeks ago from our friends at Atui that they would be bringing the DS Cult Classic from the handhelds to the Nintendo Switch. Indeed, it did come out, and Seth and I might have a few thoughts about it.
Yeah, it's going to be our indie showcase on tomorrow's episode of All Ends, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna really dig into it and tell y'all all about it tomorrow on the podcast. And we've got a video here on the YouTube channel. We might even have our friend Jules from Atui on the show pretty soon to talk a little bit more about it as well. So stay tuned for that. Dementium the Ward available now. Definitely worth checking out. We also finally saw the release of a Dwerve, which has been, I feel like, in development for forever. This is like a pixel art dungeon crawler, like tower defense game. That I swear I've seen this game. I feel like it's been in development for like 6 years, and it finally came out, kind of out of nowhere. So that's a thing. I didn't even realize until like I was looking at the recent releases. I was like, Dwarf finally came out. Okay, so that was a surprise.
I, that's the thing, man. Again, Windjammers 2 was one of my favorite games of last year, and I somehow missed this massive content update for that. That's how crazy these release. Like, this is the holiday release schedule now. We are deep into the season of games like Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars and Spider-Man 2 coming out. So there's like, that's why we're doing this, is because we don't want games that you guys might be interested in to fall by the wayside, like the fact that the Company of Heroes collection just released on the Nintendo Switch, one of the most critically acclaimed strategy RPGs, frankly, of all time. I remember when the first Company of Heroes came out on PC, and everybody was saying, like, greatest tactical RPG of all time, greatest RTS of all time. And now we've got the collection available right now on the Nintendo Switch for all of you RTS nuts.
Nice. I've heard of Company of Heroes, but I've never played any of them. So pretty cool. Pretty cool to have them here. We also got last one here on my list is River City Rival Showdown, which again, another like release in a long time franchise, but I had no idea this was a thing. So, and it's out. Like,
was that like the Carnival Games release, or was that?
No, it is apparently I was looking at this. Apparently, it's a remake of the original River City Ransom. So it did not get well reviewed on Steam. I don't know. I haven't played it. I can't vouch for the quality of it, but it was released on Steam. It is apparently a remake of the original River City Ransom. Available now on Switch for $24.99. Yeah.
Well, the Kunio-kun series is, of course, an incredibly long-running series. River City Girls 2 are also available. There's also multiple Kunio-kun collections. So if that's a series that you're interested in, again, that also came out this week in addition to everything else. Although not any like world-breaking releases from this week. I think a lot of people wanted to stay out of the way of a few of next week's games that are coming out, but absolutely still a few worth checking out.
Yeah, you gotta wait for next week for the real heavy hitters.
Man, going to be absolutely insane. But let us know what you guys are playing this weekend. Let us know what you're doing for Friday the 13th. Let us know. Reach out to us on Facebook at All In Podcast, on Twitter at All In Podcast. Also, make sure if you are here watching us now on YouTube to like, subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications, all that good stuff. Don't ever miss one of our amazing videos, one of our awesome pieces of content, because we're always making it, Seth, just constantly, all the time. So much so that we even produce a ton of exclusive content for our patrons.
That's right. Patreon.com/allinpodcast is the place to be. 3 tiers of support. See what works for you. Get the 7-day free trial to the Golden Banana tier. Check it out for yourself. Throw a few bones our way for our hard work. We appreciate it. You can also throw some bones our way by picking up some merch at bit.ly/allinmerch. We got shirts. We've got mugs like this one that's got our faces on it. It's pretty good. And we've also got stickers over there too that also have our faces on it.
That's
and
true.
then we've got that going on. If you don't have any bones to throw our way, that's okay too. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and all that's really appreciated. If you're listening on a podcast feed that supports reviews, go ahead and drop us a review. Very appreciated as well. Quick, easy, free. Thanks so much for doing it.
Yeah, and absolutely don't forget to join our amazing Discord community. So many amazing people out there. And you get to, you honestly help influence our show. So many games that we found out about because of our Discord community, a ton of stuff. And I may be reaching out to our Discord community very soon to help me with an episode that is upcoming, specifically why I bring this up. But for everybody who has picked up a piece of our merch at bit.ly/allinmerch, to everybody who has dropped words on whatever podcasting or content creation service that you follow us on, to all of you legendary patrons out there, and to everybody who has just even shared our content somewhere across this vast internet of ours. To all of you, I would like to give you, this time, a spooky Namaste.
Namaste, everybody. That's been the week in news. Really appreciate y'all for coming out. Sam was here. Adam was here. New chatter Jordan Ferrandez was here as well. So big thanks to everybody who came out and hung out in the chat. Appreciate y'all. There is, of course, links in the description to everything that we just talked about, especially to the podcast, which drops tomorrow, as it does every Saturday. We're going to be doing the top 5 skeletons in Nintendo history, an indie showcase on Dimension the Ward, and a retrospective discussion on Pokemon X and Y, celebrating their 10th anniversary. So it's a good show. Drop in tomorrow
Always
on
a
your
good show.
podcast feed. Yeah, and so again, links in the description. We appreciate y'all very much, and we'll see you next week.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great Friday the 13th, guys.